Put it all out in the open. No, we don't have to control it. Put it all out in the open. If it's only for a moment, it's a lifetime of emotion. Put it all out in the open.
So Pogo's following in his brother George's footsteps by being extremely accident prone, as you can see here. I was supposed to film a Q&A and my Meet the Horses video the other day, and we were about to go do that, but when we came to go get the horses
on Easter,
his leg was spraying blood horizontally out from his knee like a fire hose, and there's blood all over the field, like all over their shelter, puddles of blood everywhere, like horrible, horrible. So obviously we called the vet because he was like, he hit an artery, and he was like I can't even like stress how much blood there was. It was disgusting.
And I tourniqueted it.
Yeah, we made a,
that's not actually
tourniquet.
Well, I use the French tourniquet.
Okay. Well, we put a tourniquet on it, and then the vet came, and by the time the vet had come, the bleeding had stopped, and he was able to clean it. But basically there was a puncture wound all the way through into his knee joint. So he has a big puncture in there that went into the joint. And for those of you that didn't follow me a couple years ago or missed the video, my rescue horse Roulette also had a joint infection, but hers was a really fluke thing where a blackberry bramble had gotten into the joint, so it wasn't obvious that it was a really serious injury, and she ended up getting an infection. So with him, we're hoping that we caught it soon enough, and that because he bled so much that the joint was able to stay clean, but basically we're having to wait and see. But anyways, we're going to show you what we do for his wound care, and I'll show you the wound. So if you're really squeamish, I would recommend skipping past that part, and I'll put a time to it.
This will be like a medical journey of sorts, so if people are interested in that kind of thing with our baby. But the swelling on it actually looks really quite good, and this is him walking. Vet was quite impressed. He injured himself on Easter, as Shelby said, so Easter Sunday, and then the vet followed up with us yesterday morning and was quite impressed actually with how well he's able to walk on it, and that the swelling had not increased from the day prior when he had done it to himself, and felt that we had probably caught it quite quickly in terms of when he would have actually punctured himself, and then successfully kind of staving the flow of blood by wrapping him in his knee in towels and applying pressure for a tourniquet. So anyway, but you can see he's actually walking really, all things considered, very well. So hopefully that's a good sign. The vet said yesterday that oftentimes with joint injuries, they will be quite sore. He's super sensitive on the actual injury point, but in the joint capsule itself, when the vet presses on it, he's not having sensitivity, so that's a good sign.
So before I show you the injury now, I'll put some photos in this video of the day it happened. Obviously I don't have video of that because I was too busy panicking. We don't have any photos of when it was actually shooting blood out, again because I was too busy panicking, and then we put
taking care of it.
Yeah, we put pressure on it like immediately. But anyways, I'll share the videos that the photos I have when the vet came out and cleaned it and before the vet came, so you can see how much blood dried on his leg. But so those will be included. But basically what happened, to our knowledge, is he had wood shards in the joint, so we think he impaled himself on a stick. But we could not find anything that was clearly the culprit. He didn't care that he had done that because he was wandering around, he was eating hay, and he was hanging out with his buddies, and he came up to the fence for treats. He did not care. So there's blood everywhere, but none of the blood trails really made sense for what could have stabbed into him that far.
Okay, and then when it comes off, so the gauze, when Shelby starts to remove the bandaging, the actual gauze that is on the wound itself is a really special kind of gauze that is supposed to actually, it's a high-tech one, it's supposed to stick to the wound, because then the removal of it actually takes some of the it does some of the cleaning.
I think we should get him some cookies quickly.
I'm gonna get him some cookies. Okay, so yeah, so Shelby didn't see the vet remove the bandaging yesterday with the follow-up, so he hates this part. I may end up having to stop videoing and help. The gauze that's actually on the wound is supposed to actually stick and pull away and remove and help clean the wound, so he will hate it.
But
he tried to kick the vet.
Is when the vet was cleaning it the day it happened, he was an absolute angel.
He was a saint.
Shitty, so.
Good boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna rip this really fast because I feel like.
Okay, ready, go.
Yeah.
Good.
Like waxed,
oh, baby, good boy.
It's just like getting your legs waxed.
It's my man. Ooh, I know, ooh, baby. Yeah, there goes the hind. Ooh, yeah. Okay, my man. We may have to stop filming momentarily.
Okay, it took like 8 years to get the bandaging off because he's upset and we don't have sedation. So that's the cut. Obviously, I'm pulling the gauze off and putting a clean one on. It's in a really bad spot because it's right in his knee, and you can't really see it close up. You'll be able to see it in the photos that I posted before this, but there's like a circular, like kind of ballpoint pen sized puncture, and that's where something went into his joint, and it nicked an artery, and that's why he was spewing blood everywhere. So so much fun.
Okay, and then I'm gonna check down here.
Just placing his leg to see how the swelling's doing. Good boy. Good. You're being very good.
Yay.
Also, before anyone gets on my ass about this chain, I implore you to post a video of you dealing with an injury of this caliber without sedation, without needing something to do to try to keep them still, because
this is a rock star of a horse.
Oh, he's a very good boy, but he gets like the bandaging, taking it off is the worst part.
I think the joint, Shelby, is feeling the same as yesterday.
Good.
In terms of
good. Pogo, you gotta stay still. So yeah, you can see the puncture now. It's actually like, it's literally like a pen almost went into his leg, like
clean right
deep
now.
And like, since he bled so much, it probably did keep it a lot cleaner, even though it was very scary. But yeah, like it's shaped like a kick mark, so I had people thinking it was a kick. It's definitely not, because there's a big puncture. That mark's just from a flap of skin that he pulled off,
which is now retracting up to there.
Yeah, and it's starting to heal. So yeah, so it's got a big puncture, and the reason why the puncture is open and not sutured is because if we sutured it, knowing that there could potentially be foreign bodies in it, then we would have closed it with no escape if his joint does get infected. And joint infections happen very, very quickly. They're very, very painful, and they can do a lot of damage. But luckily, his joint looks good. If his joint was infected, he would be like non-weight bearing and not able to walk, and he's actually sound at the walk.
Swelling's gone down today.
Yeah.
So when you turn this off, then you can take a quick break.
So I have a syringe, and this is just saline solution. I'm not injecting the syringe into him. We just use it to get the saline solution out of here. And then I'm gonna squirt this into the wound to clean it. He's eating the bandages. Ew! Go away! No! Yuck! Nasty! Nasty girl! Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta be sneaky. How many flushes did he do when he did it?
I only managed to get one because he was so horrible.
Okay.
But I'm going to try for more, and I'm going to feed him. I'm going to try to stand in his way.
And I'm trying to flush it like into the whole part, right?
Yeah, and on the cut.
Jeepers.
Into the hole, and I'm going to do the feeding right now.
Well, he thinks I'm still taking photos, so that will work to my advantage. Oh, such a good boy. Such a good boy. Okay, flush number 2. He's probably going to know what's coming at this point. Try to put your hand over his eye like a blinker so he can't see. Good boy! He's being really good.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, so we're giving him treats so that he doesn't hate us, hopefully. And then...
can't see what's going on.
Oh wow, that all went like right into it. So that's...
We're gonna try this. We'll see if we can even film this because he doesn't like the gauze pad, of course, being put on. I'm gonna try to give him treats.
I'm just hanging out down here, such a big gaping hole.
And I'm just holding you and trying to film.
And this gauze is expensive, so please don't make me F this up.
Very gently place it on. Yes, he does not like this part. We may not be able to film this. Here, bud. Okay, I think we can. We move the chain and the goggles?
Yep, the thinking cap. That's even when he's sedated, I might put those on him because then at least...
Should we try? Let's do his chinny chin chin.
Oh yeah. Well, and like we'll leave
goggles on for the chin.
Yeah. The blinkers can stay on for like even when he's sedated tomorrow because then at least he can't predict when you're going to touch the knee.
Okay. So now he's getting lots of treats for the good man.
So yeah, it's all wrapped up now. Again, the swelling actually, like I'm really impressed with how little swelling there is. His feathers are still covered in coagulated blood, so I'm gonna cut that off.
The only reason we haven't is because he doesn't want us touching and we're trying to avoid any additional drama for him. Right? Because he's just sensitive.
Oh, gross. There we go.
So this additional...
Yeah, his knee actually looks really good considering. And then hopefully for tomorrow, I just have to check the dosage. If we're gonna sedate him, I have to call the vet because I do have sedation, which would make taking the bandage off way easier. But I can't dose him with it until I get new needles and actually know how much they want him to get. Because it's just leftover I have from George's rehab. But yeah, nice and clean now. We have to re-bandage it every day, so that's gonna be a huge pain in the ass with how silly he can be. But like honestly, out of most of the horses, he's pretty easygoing. Like the only other one who may be better than him for vet stuff is Banksy, but like this is pretty painful, so I don't know how anyone else would be. So yeah, that's that. Probably goes without saying that we don't know when Pogo's gonna get started under saddle now. If it gets infected, it's pretty risky from the standpoint it can cause a lot of damage to the joint. But like I said, we cleaned it really fast and he had the joint flushed the day of and was bleeding profusely enough that I don't think anything could have gotten into the hole. But yeah, this year is canceled. It sucks. Snacking. Yeah, he's walking quite sound, which is awesome because the last time I had to deal with a joint infection, the horse was like non-weight bearing and could not walk. So this isn't an infection yet. We're just well aware of the fact that since it did enter the joint, it's not great because no matter how well you clean stuff, there's always a risk that there's some tiny particle that could cause a problem. So yeah, it's good. So far so good though. Like, yeah, I can't, like, he's actually sound at the walk, which is nuts. You would think it would bother him more because he probably feels it gape every time he walks. Okay, so Pogo gets Butte for painkiller, and then he also has, like, a pretty heavy-duty antibiotic called...
Baytril?
Baytril? It says,
I think it's... yeah, and then I think...
it's Baytril's probably, like,
Baytril's, it's like, yeah.
It's like...
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So he's on Baytril for antibiotics. Baytril we can't put in his food because we have to make sure he eats it. Like, we already know he eats Butte, but if he decides not to eat his food, then he wastes, like, very expensive antibiotics. And for me personally, like, when I'm feeding powdered medicines to horses, I will never feed their grain dry because if you soak it, the medicine sticks to all the food and then they can't eat around it. So I'm gonna add his soaked feed, and like I always do soaked feed anyways, so it's not really new for me, but that's just a tip for anyone that's trying to get their horses to eat. So this is just soaked hay cubes that they always get, but they're nice and wet, so the Butte,
the shadows in the way.
The Butte just dissolves into it, which is fantastic. So this is the liquid antibiotic, and I'm just getting the air out. Okay, now we're ready. So I have to do this slowly because if I do it all at once, he's gonna lose some, but you just give it like a wormer. But I do it in sections, so I give him some, and then again.
Yeah, because then you can't spill it out, right? Good boy. And he's actually pretty rock star about this.
Yeah, no, he's good because he's not tried to start running away. Good boy.
Nope, and he swallowed it all.
Okay, so that's it for the antibiotics for today. He gets bute twice a day, so we're going to have to give him more at dinner. And then he's just going to eat this in his food. Okay. Kiss. Why? He says, I just love him so much. He's my friend. I just need to lick him. Yep. They love each other. Oh. So that's it for my video today. I'm sorry that I couldn't get the other ones filmed. I'm going to be filming the Meet the Horses and the Q&A videos this week. So if there's any questions you want me to address in either one of those, post them down below and I will work through them and add all of the relevant questions, as many as I can get done. And then also turn on your post notifications and subscribe if you don't want to miss when these are uploaded. I was planning on doing them obviously, but then it kind of got hectic when Pogo cut himself open and looked like he was going to bleed out. It was very stressful. This whole year has been very stressful, and I know it's not just me. A lot of people are struggling, and the whole quarantine thing, if you already have mental health issues, makes it a lot harder. So I hope all of you guys are doing well and taking care of yourselves, and that your whole family's healthy and everything. And yeah, we're all collectively kind of going through what seems to be the worst year ever for a lot of people. A lot of people are having terrible things happen this year, and you either see the best of people or the worst of people during times like this, like the pandemic and stuff. And I've seen both of those sides. Like, I've seen people do really great, amazing, generous things, and then I've also seen people lash out at others, probably because they are struggling themselves. And this is just a reminder to try not to be one of the people that lashes out, because more people are struggling with things than you realize, and you don't want to be the person that sends them over the edge just so that you can feel better about yourself for a moment, if it even does that. I don't think being mean to people will make you feel better. But yeah, anyways, with that said, like, people are just struggling more than you realize. Try to be nice. Like, obviously for myself, I have a social platform that means a lot of people can see what I'm doing, and that makes it so that people are more likely to say mean things or make judgments. And I've noticed that a lot this year, like more so in previous years, especially pertaining to George, because for me personally, like, even if I don't particularly agree with what people do with their horses, if their horse died, I wouldn't use that as a means to take a jab at them. But I've had like numerous people make fake accounts to tell me that it's my fault that he died and stuff, and it's just like so unkind, and you don't need to be like that. So if you're watching this and you're someone who does stuff like that, just consider the fact that everyone is struggling more now than they probably have been in years past, especially if they already had mental health issues, and your comments could be what sends them over the edge. So really consider what you say to people. I'm personally in an okay place. Like, obviously this is all very stressful and it sucks, but I'm not in a place where these comments are gonna push me to do something like hurt myself, but some people are. So consider that before you mistreat people. And anyways, thank you for watching, and I'm gonna get on all of the video ideas that I've had planned that I have not been able to film because it just seems like I have empty words right now. Anyways, have a good day. I hope you guys are having better luck with your horses than I am, which hopefully shouldn't be that hard, but as it stands, it seems everyone's having a bad year. So anyways, hope you guys are all doing well and take care of yourself.